Okay. Alright, I like to move when I talk, so we're going to try this. Really do appreciate everybody taking the opportunity or the time to show up. I'm not able to see anything that's being typed right now, so if anybody has anything, wait to the end. We're going to have a Q&A section. So let's kick it off. The purpose of this is because we historically have offered a weekly or bi-weekly leadership meeting or community update, and we haven't done that in probably 3 months. And so I want to get back to the habit of letting everybody know what we're doing, and using this kind of as a gateway to start our leadership meetings again. And also because a lot of the things that we do, whether it be as organizational leadership or leadership in different divisions, whether that be Clash Royale or Call of Duty Mobile, really don't know what's going on in the other divisions. And so we want to give people the opportunity to know what everybody's doing. Okay? So one of the things that we have really been pushing is for community engagement. And we're going to talk about community engagement and involvement a lot tonight from several different aspects, but I want to kind of be a little bit personal when while we talk about community engagement and involvement so much, and why this organization really is so important to me. Okay. Is everybody okay? Okay. We have done a lot the last, I want to say, 3 months when we started talking about expanding this organization from just a CR-centric clan family to an actual gaming organization. And we've made a lot of progress in doing that. And the reason that we have done that is because I want this organization to really succeed and flourish, particularly as Clash Royale starts to become less and less popular, because a lot of us that are potentially even watching this stream have put a lot of time, energy, effort, blood, sweat, and tears into our clan families, or our clans, the clan family itself. And I really don't want this organization to cease to exist when Clash Royale is on such a decline, quite frankly. And I've said this in chat quite a few times. The reason that this is so personal and important for me, and the reason that I'm spending so much time doing this, is because Clash Royale, and particularly this clan family, has been in my life for the better part of 2.5 years. And a lot of you are included in that in some capacity, and some of them in an extremely large capacity. So I can remember when my son was born, and I was sitting in the hospital with my wife holding him and them sleeping, and me on the couch talking to BTU and spending a lot of personal time talking to him as I was in the hospital for that week. And there's been stories and instances like that in my life and in several others, that are quite similar. Whether that be, um, you know, one of my dear friends on here was going through an extremely difficult divorce, and him and I talked for hours on the phone, um, while he was going through that difficult situation. And there are literally, 50 or more stories that really demonstrate, um, how important everybody in this organization, or quite a few of us in this organization, have been to each other. And so this isn't just some effort necessarily to expand into other games because, we like the idea of being this extremely competitive, dominant force in the scene. Obviously, if we're going to do something, we're going to do it to the best of our ability. But it comes from a place of all of us having spent so much time and energy having built something so amazing. A community right now of Discord users of over 700 people. We have approximately 14 clans in our CR family division. And I don't want all the energy that we have spent in this thing to just disappear because something happens. I want our community and our family, and when I say community, I genuinely mean that, not from the standpoint of a bunch of people who just happen to be in the same Discord server. I mean it from the perspective of we are an actual community and a family, like quite a few of us are. And so we're going to talk about a little bit, um, how all that came to be, because I think that, one of our principles, our base principles, is that our community always comes first, and that what we do, spawns out of building our community and making us closer together. And I think in, a lot of ways we're missing the mark. We've kind of, lost that somehow, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit. So give me one sec. My monitor with my prompts went off. Okay. Um, so, with that being said, um, that is the reason that we do everything we do, is to expand our family and hope that other people can find the same, um, connection with each other that I have found with a bunch of you guys. Uh, and to do that, I really want everybody here, first off, to do to think about how they can, create that atmosphere in their own clans, their own clubs, um, the Discord server, whatever that looks like. And what we did in Titans and what we did in, TLNA before, we started expanding was just making sure that everybody that joined or came into our clans felt welcomed. That the first thing we did was say hello, how are you, whatever the case may be. And we want that atmosphere of, welcomeness and, togetherness and unity and all that stuff really to pervade everything we do. So there was a gentleman who was in Titans today that just hit a new PB. And Titans is a perfect example because that's my, Clash Royale clan, of how we've kind of started missing the mark. And so I hope a few of the Titans co-leaders are watching. If not, I'm going to send them here. We have, especially with Clan Wars 2, become much stricter on war, which obviously, everybody has, and that's okay because there's, obviously a lot of justification for doing that. Um, but somebody in our clan hit a new PB today, and I don't see when that happens, um, which happens often, that person being congratulated and felt like they made a big accomplishment. And it is a big accomplishment. So we always need to be looking at ways that we can encourage people and make them know that they're important to us. Um, okay, so we're going to move on to something else. And we can continue talking about that privately in Discord, because I think it is something that's extremely important and worth exploring. So at a executive level, and probably at a little bit lower level than that, um, we have had kind of a shift in our hiring philosophy, and yeah, everybody knows it's Rob. It was Rob. He's amazing, great guy. Um, the way that we have shifted our philosophy was, we wanted the most qualified person that we can get um, in the positions that we're looking for. And in some cases, that's still true. But as I was having a conversation with somebody and really thinking about our roots, especially as I started taking on a larger role in esports, and then became the director of esports for a fairly large organization. Um, Looking back on that situation, I didn't have any experience whatsoever. A lot of it was just spending a ton of time um, trying to learn that position. And so, what I want to do is, at an executive level, or whatever the case may be, I want to start looking for people who are dedicated and passionate about the family and about what we're doing, as opposed to finding the most qualified candidates. Obviously, if we find somebody qualified, that's amazing, but we want to start rewarding people who want to be involved and who are willing to put the commitment in. So, some of the positions that we have available are CFO, or someone to manage profit and loss statements to release on a monthly basis. We're looking for IT staff, which is looking for a chief information officer, web or WordPress developers, Python developers. We're looking for creative staff, such as social media managers and staff, graphics artists, video editors, marketing manager and team, branding specialists, fundraising and crowdsourcing manager. For the gaming department, this is very important, esports staff and event staff. So if you have any interest in being part of that, then let us know. Executive updates. We're about to move on to some very exciting stuff. I know this may be not applicable to everybody. So Psychic came on as the Vice President of Esports. He will be seeing the semi-professional teams in each division. So Psychic's going to be handling the esports teams for Brawl Stars when we get one, Clash Royale, Call of Duty Mobile, and so far he has done an outstanding job, and I'm very appreciative of him. Our Chief Financial Officer has resigned from full-time status to advisory, at least for the foreseeable future. I'm very disappointed about that, because he was a overqualified candidate. Very amazing. Don Y has came on as our Vice President of Esports. He has an extensive history with the organization and with esports and events administration in general. He's going to be joining us to work on some of the events that we're about to be talking about right now. So, organization updates. And here's one of the big ones. Activity. We have noticed that over the course of the past 2 or 3 months in our community, an extreme decrease in server activity, engagement, and so forth. At one point in our peak, we were seeing approximately 25,000 messages a week, and that's no longer the case. So we're going to be looking at different ways to increase activity, and we have came up, I think, with some really fantastic ideas to do that, and I'm really excited about it. So every Friday night, I'm going to be posting all this. I'm going to be posting my entire agenda and stuff in case anybody wants to review it. Every Friday night, we're going to be hosting a server-wide voice chat at 9 p.m. Central, starting this Friday, which is December 4th. During our Friday night voice chats, we will host a range of events ranging from Among Us game night, see our community ladder, challenge spectating party. We're going to be hosting some of the upper management to be involved with the community and so forth, so on. So, one of the most amazing things about this is because we had this decrease in activity, it really caused me to start looking at ways that we can increase it. So, every Friday night at 9 p.m. Central, we're going to have our event staff hosting a voice chat session, and this is going to be kind of freeform where you guys get together, I hope, and interact with each other, play games, watch each other push ladder, or play Among Us, or whatever the case may be. However, a small twist to that, one of the things that I have reached out, or one of the people I've reached out to try and really drive engagement is Bigfoot, which is our professional CR manager, and we are going to be working out a schedule for one of our professional players to show up every Friday, I hope, and be involved in that. And so this Friday we've got Bigfoot showing up, and we also have Cheesecake, which just won. He came number one in his bracket in the CR Professional Series. So I'm extremely excited about that. He's going to be pushing ladder and letting people spectate. We may do coaching sessions or whatever the case may be. So that's going to be this Friday, and hopefully every single Friday we'll have a professional streamer on with us. I'm sorry, a professional player on with us. Streamers. We currently have one contracted streamer, which is Liam. Early this month, which is December, we're going to be looking at putting on an additional contracted streamer from a top 400 ladder player, which will also offer additional resources for him to provide coaching, play with the community, allow viewing parties, and more. I'm not going to say who this is until the contract is locked down, but we may be getting another professional or another contracted streamer that's top 400 ladder, and if we get that down, if we get the contract locked down, he is very community oriented and will be coming in and interacting with everybody on a very regular basis. He will do coaching sessions and all that kind of stuff. One of the other things that we've done, because we've had so much interest in people being TL streamers, is we have come up with 3 different tiers of streamers and different things that we can offer people, whether it be the contracted streamer that we're paying for, or it be the guy who's just starting out, who our resources are going to be his primary method of getting his name out there and so forth. So we'll be posting that at some point in the near future, but we're looking to help. One of the things that we wanted to do when we had this whole shift in vision was to offer player and staff development and streamer development, because we want people to get out there and find their passions and really flourish in what they want to do, right? We want people to be happy in life, and and really enjoy what they're doing in every aspect. So if your passion is streaming, we want to be able to do everything we can do to help you. Fundraising. So we're also doing a fundraiser and asking each member of the community to consider donating $2 a month. That will help fund a lot of the initiatives we're going to be talking about today, or that we've already talked about. I know probably everybody is tired of hearing me mention, consider donating or whatever the case may be, and I get it, because this whole thing has nothing to do with money. But some of the things that this whole shift in organizational vision was not based on wanting to be a professional esports team and make $1 million. It's certainly not so I can line my pocket with any money, because God knows how much money I've spent on this whole thing. Over the course of the last 8 months since we've started, I've probably spent $2,000 on the family, and that's okay, because I want you guys to be happy. I want you guys to be engaged with each other, and I want you guys to grow closer, whether it be in Clash Royale, Call of Duty Mobile, or whatever, and then develop relationships that are cross-title, that you guys play games together with, and so forth, so on. But I would like everybody to really consider if they want to help expand the community more than we are able to without you guys. Okay. Partnerships. We are always actively looking for partnerships with individual clans and clubs, clan families, organizations, leagues, influencers, potential sponsors, or individuals that have the talent and ambition to build something bigger than ourselves. If you have an interest in partnering with us, please contact me. So I just want to make that clear. We are looking for partners in every capacity. When I get to Brawl Stars, we're going to be talking about one of those partnerships, but we are always looking for ways that we can benefit the community and they can benefit us. Miscellaneous. We now have the email clips@threatlevel.gg for members of our communities to submit screenshots and short video clips of amazing gameplay for us to upload and feature you as a member of our community. Okay, so one of the things that we wanted to do again when we shifted this vision was we want to really demonstrate the talent and the skill and the passion that you guys have. I don't want to be on this stream at all. I don't want I don't like being the center of attention. I don't want people watching me. I'm horrible at the game. What I want to do is really demonstrate how amazing the community is. And so we set this up so we can help build player recognition no matter what your skill level is. We want to demonstrate you on stream, on our Twitter, on our Facebook, on our Instagram, and all that stuff. So yeah, thank you, Cycles. So we do have social media platforms: Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Typically they are all threat level GG. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about some of the freaking amazing things that we've got coming up. We're past all the kind of introductory stuff. 2v2 tournament. This is all Clash Royale based right now. We will be looking to develop stuff specifically in Brawl Stars with one of the hopefully partnerships we got coming on. We have an amazing Clash of Clans event that's going to be announced soon, and I'm super freaking stoked about that. But for Clash Royale, which is what we have the most things planned for right now, 2v2 tournament, Saturday, December 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern. channels are created under the Events tab to coordinate with your partner. Yeah, that's how I do it. To coordinate and find partners, post your roster, and so forth, so on. You guys have been asking for a 2v2 tournament for months and months, and since we now have a fantastic events team and a few more people coming on, we're giving it to you. So that's going to be Saturday at 9 p.m. Everybody find a partner and get involved. We have a 1v1 tournament Saturday, December 6th at 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you read the information, the events information about it, because there is a little twist involved in it. You having to share your deck with the event coordinator, and there's a reason behind that. Hopefully that was public information. I think it was posted. We have a level 1 account pushing competition, which I'm not going to give a date. I've got one wrote down, but it may be wrong. It's going to run about this. We'll say the announcement and details are going to be coming soon. But we have been talking about this level 1 account pushing contest for quite a while, and so we're finally doing it. And we've actually got a little bit of a twist to that as well. It's actually going to be a team competition, which is a really amazing idea. So I'm really looking forward to that one. More details will be coming soon. Okay, so here's some of the stuff that we've been working on kind of at an upper level, and we're finally releasing at least a little bit of detail on. The date is still to be determined, and so are some of the details. But we're going to be creating a clan community league. We can't share all the information right now as it is still being worked on, but what we can say is that all clans that are a part or wish to be a part of the threat level CR community can take part. It will be done through an in-game tournaments that will be live streamed. Tournaments will be hosted at NA and EU friendly times. We will be tracking stats of all the clans and players throughout the season. Clans earn points based off the finish of members in their clans. First gets 20 points, second 19, etc. down to 20. There is no limit on how many players per clan can join. You only must be in a TL community clan for your score to count. So, yeah, sorry APAC. That was actually in my notes, but I didn't say it. We are super stoked about that. And then we have we also are working on an esports competition. Currently working on a completely new and unique CR esports competition. We can't say much as it's very early on. Stay tuned for more announcements on it to come. I wish I could release more information about both of them because I am extremely stoked about really the potential that this has to help you guys have fun and bring kind of some public awareness to what we're doing. Esports updates. So this is under the CR Pro team. One of the biggest opportunities that we've missed was keeping the community up to date with and forming a cohesive relationship with the professional esports team. And I think that a lot of that had to do with the organization staffing issues and infrastructure, plus a little bit of us having to learn how we could take advantage of this resource. So we've had the CR Pro team for 2 months now maybe, and we've done a really poor job at integrating them into the community. We have had no real infrastructure for streaming what they're doing, or really done a fantastic job of even talking about what's going on. And so that's one of the, I think, the biggest areas of improvement that I want to focus on this next 2 weeks is integrating the esports team, the professional team, with the community more, and finding different value propositions that they can offer the entire community. So we're going to be discussing our team's progress and very near-term plans for more full integration of the pro team. So last week we got a win over Team Paragon in Gems League that was streamed. We got a win over our opponents in CRFR, and we got a free win against AK Syndicate in Clash Cup. Disappointing that wasn't an actual win, but that's okay. We still won. That's all that matters. So we advanced to the semifinals in Gems League after our win over Team Paragon. Team Paragon was overwhelmingly voted to be the team that was going to win the entire competition. So our win is absolutely a huge deal. So we are advancing to the next stage. We've got 2 more games until we potentially win the whole thing. So that is absolutely amazing. We've made a lot of changes to the permanent and temporary rosters. Temporary roster is a roster that we're going to use specifically for one league. One of the most exciting is we picked up Muhammad Light for the remainder of Gems League. If you're not familiar with Muhammad Light, he is, I believe, he was number 5 on ladder last season, I believe. Very highly skilled guy. Yes, not permanently for that one specific league. So the current leagues, just so we will allow time for Q&A at the end, just so I'm not distracted. The current leagues that we are participating in are Gems League, Clash Cup, CRFR, and Neo Clash League. We have our registration in for Draft Duels, which is a new competition that was made by a gentleman that used to be part of our organization. So we're excited about that. Plans for the future. We have discussed, Bigfoot and I have discussed some of the community initiatives and events previously, or we have. Bigfoot and I have discussed at great length the importance of having the pro team be a somewhat active part of our community. So we're going to be looking into creating a schedule for each pro team that meets certain requirements to commit to a schedule to provide weekly or bi-weekly interactive events within the community, such as interactive ladder or grand challenge pushing sessions, coaching sessions, and more. Really whatever you guys want. We're going to be looking at and taking suggestions on how we can get these guys more involved with you. We're also going to be looking at creating a system to better inform our community when our team is playing in Stream League matches or stream the ones we are allowed to stream in the community, so you guys can cheer them on. So one of the things, again, that we've done very poorly at is connecting you also with the pro team. And so we're going to be looking at creating systems where when they are in a match that's being streamed, that we provide you guys the resources to watch them and cheer them on, because I think that is absolutely important to build the kind of community and organization that we want, is you guys fully supporting the team when they're playing. See our amateur team. We have appointed James as the director of our semi-pro and amateur teams. He's done a freaking fantastic job, just unbelievable. In creating a staff, we're still looking to fill some very key positions, but he's done an amazing job at finding outside resources to be kind of advisors, and also resources from the inside. We're currently sorting through players to see who's still interested in playing and who isn't. If you have any interest whatsoever in staffing the esports team or any positions with us or playing for our team, please get in contact with me or James, and I'm just going to direct you to talk to James. So, our amateur team is doing an amazing job. We had unfortunately lost a lot of interest after a few of our players retired. Albert being one of them. Albert is I think was a very unifying force within our community. Period. And so it was very sad when Albert retired from the game, even if it was perhaps temporary. So since then, it's been kind of hit or miss trying to get our amateur team back on track. But I feel like we've went through, I think, 2 managers since then that really had a great opportunity in front of them and didn't realize it, realize that potential as much as they could have. But I firmly believe that James is going to be the thing that really gets us back on track. James is highly dedicated, and he's been with this organization for a long time, knows what we're shooting for and striving for, not only in our organization, but specifically in the esports division. So I'm excited to see what our semi-pro team can do under his leadership. As far as leagues go, our amateur and semi-pro team is going to be gearing up for potentially 2 leagues, the Winter Sports League and Quantum League, and this will be, to the best of my knowledge, this will be the first time that our semi-pro and amateur team plays competitively for money. So I am super stoked about that. It's going to be a big opportunity to get these guys kind of in the mindset of playing for money, and then we're going to keep pushing that. Call of Duty mobile team. Dude, our Call of Duty mobile team is absolutely on fire. I cannot believe what these guys have accomplished in such a short amount of time. This all started kind of as a passive conversation between a few people, and we created a server. I gave 3 people admin to the server and told them, build it. And within approximately 30 to 40 days, they have developed, trying to look, I don't know if I have the number here. We have 4 teams now, 4 full multiplayer teams, and I believe the plan is that we're going to be trying to fill that 5th multiplayer team, and then we're going to start building battle royale teams. And so for these guys with very little to direction, or as far as I know, esports experience, to within 30 days create 4 rosters, have the server filled with 100 people. It just boggles my mind. So I want to give a shout out to Silent Killer, TL Wolf, and the 197. Those guys have really done some amazing things for this organization and for that division, and we're very thankful for them. So next week, I believe it is, we will put out an announcement. They have a 2v2 event lined up. So if you'd like to register or be involved, please DM one of them, because it sounds really exciting. It will be the first event that we're doing in our Call of Duty Mobile division. Also, very much in need of staff. So if you play Call of Duty Mobile or you want to administer that division, please contact one of those guys. Gaming division. Clash Royale. Clash Royale division finished phase 1 and 2 of the hiring process for the events team. The events team is getting ready for the 1v1 and 2v2 events this weekend that we talked about. And I think that they've done a great job. The hiring process, or interview process, or whatever you want to call it, was extremely rigorous. I thought maybe a little bit overzealous, and they did a fantastic job going through with it, creating some amazing ideas. And this weekend they're going to learn to administer those events. And so the reason that I think that this is so important to me is not just because we are putting on event staff within the CR division, and if anybody wants to be involved in that, please get in contact with Mr. Guy with Backflips or BTU, and they will get you set up with an interview to start being part of that. And then, yeah, Dawn is going to be doing some amazing events with us too. But the reason that this team is so important is because once these applicants or anybody who wants to be involved gets the skills on how to be creative and come up with events and learn how to administer them, whether that be creating brackets, administering matches, and stuff like that. These skills are going to be so cross compatible with any title that we play and in the larger esports ecosystem overall. So if you want to get involved in esports with a large organization, you're going to have the base skills going through, and learning what we're teaching. And so one of our big ambitions that we've had for quite a while, and we plan on realizing very soon, is a Clash Royale league. And then we'll talk about other games in a little bit, but we want to start a threat level league, and it's all going to start with learning the basics of what the events team is going through right now. And so we talked about it. The next note is something we already talked about, but maybe some people weren't here. I really want to stress, especially with the clan leaders and any clan leadership overall, always be exploring ways that you can create a more welcoming community, whether it be in your clans, in your clubs, within your divisions, whether that be esports or the Discord server overall. Because a lot of the experiences that I've had with BTU, I don't know if this is good or bad, but every time I think about my son being born, I think about BTU, and that's probably going to come back to haunt me in 6 months. But I want everybody to have experiences like that, and it's possible if we as clan leadership and organizational leadership create an atmosphere that's welcoming and forgiving and loving and encouraging. We're going to have people connect with us in a very deep way that's going to build loyalty towards our clans and the organization overall. And so there was a conversation that was happening shortly before I got ready for the stream about clan transfers. And this is obviously kind of a common thing with people wanting to transfer to clans that they perceive as a higher level clan. And some of that we're just not going to avoid. People are going to want to move up because a clan has higher ladder players. The clan is performing better in war, especially with this new clan war system. Um, but one of the ways that we as clan leadership can combat that is by creating that environment that I'm talking about. Um, and hopefully having those people feel like your clan is their home, because that's what we try and do at Titans. It's not just a clan, um, it's all of the co-leaders. I hope it's our homes. And so that is what we have strived even before we founded threat level in our clans to create, was not a feeder system where people were constantly moving up to the higher level clan as they progress, whether it be in clan war readiness or ladder. It was that we have 50 loyal active members who play together and have fun together, and hopefully have some of those experiences that we talked about together. Um, that's what's going to kind of combat people wanting to jump ship constantly, if we can get that culture down in our clans. Brawl Stars. Brawl Stars has came a long way in the last week. We're up to 46 members, which is absolutely extremely impressive. With our newly created clan, Amdor, Peacekeeper, Floating Island, and Anthony are working extremely hard to build a fully active, engaged club. We have went from approximately, I think, 23 members to now we're at 46 in the last week and a half, which is a fantastic growth for how difficult it seems to be recruiting people for Brawl Stars. It seems to be a lot harder than Clash Royale anyway. But one of the amazing things that I'm super excited about is we were invited to participate in ASL, which is the Alpha Esports League, ran by a fantastic guy, Stony. So I think we're looking at this point to put 3 teams on. I believe that's correct. We're looking to put 2 to 3 teams on of 4 people. One of those will be an alternate, obviously. And this is going to be a cash league. So if you play Brawl Stars and you don't have that role yet, make sure you sign up for it in self-roles and talk to the Brawl Stars staff. But we're extremely excited about the fact we're not even really off the ground with our Brawl Stars expansion, and we were invited to ASL. So we are also in talks with an organization about partnering with them, and some of them are extremely talented and well networked, more importantly individuals in the Brawl Stars community. So we won't release more information until we have things that we can talk about in public, but the potential for the Brawl Stars division is fairly high already. Clash of Clans, we've brought on Briesinger as our Clash of Clans game manager. He has done an absolutely amazing job in helping to build our community and our clans up. We currently have 4 active clans, and we'll be attempting to build ourselves into very quickly looking to develop our Clash of Clans division into one that is competing in major money leagues. We're currently working on several partnerships with some fairly high-level clans that are already competing in leagues, which is going to kind of hopefully give us a little bit of a jump start instead of having to build it all from from the ground up. But I'm very excited, and he tells me that our Clash of Clans division will be the most successful. So we'll see how that goes. I want him to prove me right. Um, and that is the end of the presentation. So um, before we kind of wrap it up and then give you guys the opportunity to ask questions if you have or whatever, um, really the big thing that I want you guys to take away is that um, we are currently trying to be extremely proactive in revitalizing the community engagement that we've lost. Um, it is quite sad to see that we went from 25,000 messages a week to something that's um, not close. I don't really want to go into detail into how far um, that number has decreased. Um, but we historically, whether it be before the reverse merger, and I'm using that term up kind of euphemistically, obviously, um, but before we split away and decided to do our own thing, and over the course of the first few months, even up to about 2 months ago, the activity that we had as a community was just insane. It was impossible to go back to any chat 2 hours later and catch up on what was being said, and that is phenomenal. And so we are looking at every avenue possible to help um, bring that engagement back. So, not only is our community growing and expanding, but you guys are getting closer. One of the things that that we haven't really talked about, and that's my fault, is while we're doing this, we want you guys to, I think a lot of you guys know about my history and my past. Um, if you don't, I won't get into it on here. But I've had a very troubled past, which I ended up in jail quite a few times, a lot, and was looking at a lot of serious time. And if I can do anything to help provide a safe place for our community to come and enjoy themselves and hopefully develop as mature people, and that's one of the reasons that we really push this idea of mutual respect for each other, professionalism, maturity, personal development, especially within our staff. That's those some of the things that we're trying to push, because I want to provide a place for you guys to come and not have to deal with some of the stuff that's out there that you guys can get into, and hopefully develop you into better people. Kind of like the movie with the coach that takes the troubled young kid under his wing and develops him into a better person. I want to do that on a scale of everybody in this community is constantly developing, and whether that be in social interaction, conflict resolution, healthy communication, all the things that I had difficulty doing, I want you guys to learn so you can be benefited as people in this world. So I guess the major takeaways is that we're doing everything we can to bring that community engagement back, because I want to continue having fun with you guys and expanding, and that we are going to be doing everything we can to integrate our professional team into the community at a reasonable pace. We only pay these guys so much, so I don't want them to be spending 24 hours a day in Discord because they're not getting paid enough, but very reasonable. So if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. Otherwise, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. How much do we pay the pro team? Unfortunately, that is not something that I am able to talk about in any capacity. I can't give you a specific number for any player, but Rainy Foot does have a valid point. All of our financials are public information for anybody who donates. So, and that is not just including the esports team, but everything we spend $1 on. Donators or investors have full access to that information. It is somewhere between $0 and $1,500. Any other questions? BTU sent a watermelon, and I believe that was probably a reference to our fallen comrade Albert. Brand of water, whatever I buy. Victor asked about Rocket League. So I didn't get a report on Rocket League, but at this point, I believe the idea for Rocket League is just kind of a community initiative where if anybody wants to play with each other from the community, they can get involved. But we don't have any hard, immediate plans on expanding Rocket League. That can change tomorrow because one of our events people is obsessed with it, but plays it very often. So if he has an interest in expanding our Rocket League presence, and we have the resources to do so, we will look into doing that. What other games are we looking into expanding into? Well, so the games that we initially expanded to in the beginning, which are Call of Duty Mobile, Clash of Clans, Rocket League, and I don't believe that Brawl Stars was an initial expansion, but something that happened later, and Among Us was because we did a poll of the community to see what games people played and what interest there would be in playing together, and the community is what gave us the ideas of what to expand into. We created a poll and they went and voted on it. So the only games that I currently have any executive interest, if you want to call it that, into expanding into are PUBG Mobile and League of Legends World Rift, because I think that that's going to be a tremendous opportunity for name recognition, and PUBG Mobile just, if I'm not mistaken, released a tournament with the largest ever cash prize in history. So sounds like there's a lot of money in it. So that'll be something that we maybe look into, but I don't know. Those are my interests, though. That being said, if you guys have interest in anything you want to expand into, please DM me or BTU, or both of us, and we would love to look into it. Are we going to maybe expand into game titles that aren't just mobile but also PC, console, etc.? Yes, Rocket League is PC based and also Xbox based. I believe there was talk about Call of Duty Cold War, which would also be console based. Um, so we are open to the idea, even if it's not in our immediate plans. But you guys let us know what you want to get involved in, and we'll discuss it. Uh, Another question: do you ever feel that staff is spreading too thin, trying to expand into a lot of games? Um, well, that's a very loaded question, but the answer is absolutely, and that's one of the reasons that almost every time I post an announcement and um, tag everybody, tag everyone or community, um, I include our staff application or at least talk about it, is because we are constantly in desperate need of new staff, and it doesn't matter if we've got 200 people on staff. We're constantly, desperately in need of new people to want to get involved. Um, and so, the answer is yes. We actually had to scale back um, plans a little bit recently because a bunch of us were getting burnt out, um, trying to do too much. Um, and I hope they're okay now. I'm still working 10 hours a day on this stuff. um, but, it is important to, take a break or pull back a little bit. So, yes, we are constantly spread too thin. Unfortunately, yes, it is a full time job. If anybody has DM'd me, I haven't seen it. Is that a question you want me to read? It is extremely hard work. But I think, for this organization to be successful, especially if we are any company that you start out with, or that you start, even though we had a tremendous head start against most gaming organizations or companies, period, because we had a community of approximately 710 people at our peak. So we had a tremendous advantage. Um, but any company that's first starting out, the most critical time is always the developmental stage, and that's kind of where we are as we expand out into games outside of Clash Royale. So it is a lot of hard work, um, and I do spend probably 8 hours a day minimum every single day. But BTU's right as he's typing. A lot of it's fun. Some of it's not. Some of it's tedious and staying up hours after you're exhausted. But a lot of this is fun. Interacting with the community, um, building a community with you guys is absolutely incredible. And if I can make a job out of this, I wouldn't want anything else. I doubt that will happen. Um, but you guys are the genuinely, I think, man. I've been part of a lot of large clans. I've been part of some clan families. I've played esports on a semi-pro basis before, years and years ago, and I genuinely think that you guys are the best community out there or out here. So I'm eternally grateful for BTU and Q-Dub specifically, if he's watching this, for ignoring my DM when I first tried to get into Team Liquid, and then responding, because you guys have set off something that is absolutely amazing. Um, so BT wrote, why don't we think about doing a Nintendo Switch, PS5 group, mobile group, etc. Not necessarily games, but systems. That is definitely something that we can look into, and see if that would be advantageous and would be, kind of synergizing and work well with what we're trying to accomplish. Have you ever tried running social media ads, posting on social media to try and get a brand presence? Just wondering, because it is hard to build something on just Discord. Yes, absolutely. One of the things that we are putting a tremendous focus on the last 3 weeks, maybe, is increasing our social media presence. And we've done that through obviously being a lot more active on social media. We've done that through partnering with large streamers and offering, rewards and whatnot. Kind of a joint, what would you call it, like giveaway. And we've seen some success from that. We will continue partnering with large streamers and doing things like that. Right now, our Twitter presence is nothing too impressive. I believe right now it's sitting at around 128 people. We're also active on Instagram, Twitch, obviously. We have just shy of 1,000 followers on Facebook, and we will continue to run ads and continue to be active on social media to try and increase that. But the answer, maybe to the question you asked, is we have not spent money in advertisement with those platforms yet, but it is something we will be doing. BT made a fantastic point. To add to that, if we have staff, we could really do a lot more and would probably be a lot bigger. This sometimes restricts us, and I completely agree. So if you have any interest in being staff, even if you're not inside the organization at this point, please DM me. I'm trying to catch up on chat. Anthony, if you want, DM me about the social media help. We're looking into how to build an effective social media team. So please DM me. Alright, do we have any other questions? And feel free to ask anything. If I can't answer it, I will. I hate having to sit in this chair the whole time. But this is a weird experience, being on cam and being watched by up to 40 people. Alright, does anybody else have anything? Obviously, once the stream ends, if you have any questions, you're welcome to DM me or any of the staff, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Okay. Well, you guys have fun. I may be streaming in a little bit some challenges or something on Clash, but right now we're going to go ahead and end the stream. I appreciate everybody who showed up. I know it was not tremendously advanced notice, and I know it was at a weird time on a weird day. We had a poll that was posted in the main server, and 9 p.m. Central was the time chosen by the most people, which I did not expect. So if you guys think the time frame or the time slot could be better, if you have any suggestions whatsoever, let me know. Even if you thought that this was not the best presentation and I can do better, let me know how. And we will, obviously take that into consideration. But again, thank you guys so much. Y'all have a blessed night.